First at 10, this breaking news that Jack Strain has been found guilty. The former sheriff of St. Tammany will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
He faced 4 counts of aggravated rape, 2 counts of aggravated incest, and 1 count each of indecent behavior with a juvenile and sexual battery. Tonight, we have team coverage for you.
That's right. WDSU's Aubrey Killian has been following this trial since day one and kicks things off for us at the Covington Courthouse.
And Aubrey, you just spoke with the mother of one of his victims. What did she say to you?
Hey, Stella. So yeah, I did. This has been a very emotional 2 weeks. I spoke with the mother of one of the victims in this case. She says when she heard guilty, she couldn't believe it.
Jack, for you to hurt any little children, I hope you rot in hell.
A powerful message from the mother of one of Jack Strain's victims. Her son was raped by Strain as a child. What would you tell the former sheriff tonight if you could speak to him?
Lord, have mercy on your soul. I loved you like a kid. I thought of you as my child.
A total of 5 victims took the stand, detailing horrifying abuse that they endured from the 70s to the early 2000s. District Attorney Warren Montgomery says there are more victims, and Strain will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
There were some other victims that contacted us, but we didn't feel that we needed them at this particular point in time. We felt we could achieve justice, and frankly, it's very painful for victims to testify in a public forum. And to the extent that we can save victims from going through that pain and still achieve the ends of justice, we felt that was the right thing to do.
What would be your message to Jack Strain this evening?
I really don't have a message to Jack Strain. He faced his accusers. I think they had a message for him.
For 2 weeks, the state called dozens of witnesses and brought forth evidence. One piece of evidence was a picture that this mother's son drew. She's got a plan for that picture.
We're going to put it in the front yard, pouring gasoline on it, and set it afire. And guess what? That's when the demon is gone. Because I never want to hear his name again.
So there you have it right there. It has been a very emotional time for so many families that I've spoken with through the course of this trial. Jack Strain will be sentenced in January. I'm told right now he heads to the St. Tammany Parish Jail, the same jail that he once ran as sheriff. Shay O'Connor picks up our live team coverage from there.
That's right, Aubrey. Now, currently, jail records actually show that Strain is being booked and processed as we speak right here at the St. Tammany Parish Jail. Now, we're just going to take you to some video that we were able to shoot for you a little earlier of witnesses, family, and lawyers leaving the courthouse shortly after that verdict came out. Now, I did press Strain's attorney, Billy Gibbons, on his thoughts following this verdict. All he had to say was no comment. Now, Strain being found guilty on all counts means Strain will face 4 life sentences at the very least. That's just for his most serious charge, the 4 counts of aggravated rape. And just like my coworker said earlier, this is the very jail that Strain used to run. So just the irony of it all. For now, just reporting live from St. Tammany Parish, Shay O'Connor, WDSU News.
All right, Shay, thank you so much for that live report. And Jack Strain has been one of the most powerful political figures in St. Tammany for about 20 years.
Well, his career began in the early 80s with the Abita Springs Police Department, then the Covington Police Department after that.
And then in 1995, he was elected sheriff and re-elected 4 times. In 2015, he lost his sheriff's race to Randy Smith. In 2019, Strain was arrested on state sex crime charges and he pleaded not guilty.
And last month, his trial on those sex crimes charges began tonight. As we've been reporting, he was found guilty on all the charges and will spend the rest of his life in prison.
And you know, these are not his only legal troubles. In 2019, Strain was indicted on 16 federal counts for public corruption charges. Strain is accused of operating a work release program that he used to enrich himself, members of his family, and his inner circle. 2 of his former deputies have already pleaded guilty in that case. That trial is set to begin next month. It's a separate federal matter, so it's unclear if today's developments will have any effect on those legal proceedings.
And during his time in law enforcement, Strain has also had a contentious relationship with the Black community in St. Tammany Parish, most memorably after Hurricane Katrina, his comments about people with dreadlocks. And I know you remember him talking about other chiwi hairstyles, saying that those people could expect a visit from the sheriff's department if they were in St. Tammany. All of this quite a stunning departure from being the top cop in St. Tammany to now facing life behind bars. All right, our coverage of Jack Strain's trial and conviction continues right now on the WDSU mobile app and, of course, on WDSU.
Former Sheriff Jack Strain was back in the St. Tammany Parish Courthouse Tuesday morning, but this time in an orange jumpsuit and shackles. Several of the victims were here as well to share their victim impact statements. That's the victims' opportunity to share how the offenses affect them before Strain was sentenced to life.
He will never, never hurt no other child. And that's one thing I prayed for, that he would never get out. Because what he put my son through and me through, I don't want no mother to go through this.
Patricia Finn is ready for a new chapter in her son's life. Mark Finn, who has been in and out of prison for more than 2 decades, blames Jack Strain for his anger and alcohol and drug use. Strain was found guilty of raping and molesting Finn as early as 6 years old.
This is Mark when he was 6 years old.
During his victim's impact statement Tuesday, Finn called Strain a predator, a monster, and a pervert, saying, "Today I feel like a hero for stepping forward first." He turned to Jack Strain saying, "Are you sorry? If you are sorry, I will forgive you." Jack Strain did not respond.
He kept on looking at me and smiling, and you know, I'm not gonna be his level.
Following, another rape victim said, "You didn't just damage my body, you severely damaged my mind." The judge sentenced Jack Strain to 4 life sentences without parole for the aggravated rape charges, plus an additional 30 years for the aggravated incest, indecent behavior of a juvenile, and sexual battery charges. He was also fined $30,000 and has agreed to pay nearly $28,000 for prosecution costs.
He got exactly what he deserved.
Finn said during his victim impact statement he now feels ready to rebuild his life.
He don't have to face anymore. He can get help, and I know he will.
After Strain's sentencing Tuesday, Strain's attorney Billy Gibbons said an appeal will be filed. In Covington, Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.